up, guys? Eric here with driverlineup.com, world's okayest steering wheel holder, and Jenna currently is the world's okayest paperwork doer. Just waking up. The truck is idling. It's 92 degrees, so I apologize for the vibration. Is what it is. So we pulled off a miracle, and you guys have been driving for a while. You know those miracles where you're basically doing the impossible, and just pulling some sort of freaking hocus pocus BS out of a hat to make it all work. And so as the title of my video suggests, I've been reckless with fueling the last 2 days, and it's because I've had no choice. We had a load last night coming to a place, I won't say where, but the load last night, we had time on it. So we were parked, and I didn't really get great sleep yesterday, so I'm like, okay, this is gonna be great. We're gonna be able to sleep till, what time do we have our alarm set for? Like 1 o'clock in the morning, right? Yeah, I was gonna be able to sleep until like 1 o'clock in the morning. So I went to bed at like 6. I had slept some off and on throughout the day, but I went to bed at like 6. It's gonna be great. Truck stopped, parked. Gonna be able to sleep until 1 o'clock in the morning. And then at 8 p.m., get a message from dispatch with a proposed load for $3 a mile, a pre-plan. $3 a mile. That we can run overnight and would make this payroll, but we had to be to it today. And he's basically, hey, sales is asking if somehow you guys can can leave now, take this load in, drop it off, and make it to the other one. And it was so razor thin. I mean, like, the margin for error was 0.
And the load that we had to race in wasn't due until tomorrow at...
Well, tonight at midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No?
The 14th.
15th.
Oh, so yeah.
Almost Wednesday morning.
Yeah. The load wasn't due until tomorrow night at midnight. Today's Monday. So I was like, you know, I could have said no, but I'm not going to say no to that. I'm familiar with the shipper, so I was just not going to say no to it. But in order to make it work, the only stops we could do, like, we had to double up our stops. In other words, don't stop and get fuel and then stop 2 hours later and switch drivers. You know, you do both of them at the same time. That was the only way to make this work. For Jenna to get her half-hour break, she got all of her half-hour break on duty at the customer that we were at today.
And while the pre-trip was running.
Yeah, like pre-tripping trailer, on-duty yard movement, dropping, hooking trailers, checking in paperwork. That's how she got her 30-minute break. Last night, I drove right down to, after my vehicle inspection, right down to 13 minutes on my 8-hour clock without stopping. And then I stopped, got fuel when I left, then didn't stop until the end of my 8. And then I switched with her in order to make sure that I had my clock back by the time we got to the next shipper, because this particular load, we can't stop. You know, we have to run it, and her clock wouldn't have been, if she had started driving later, her clock wouldn't have allowed her to do this drive. So I had to get off the clock. So in order to make this work, I couldn't use the fuel recommendation. I couldn't get fuel where it was cheap enough. I mean, we made it here with 20 minutes. And this is not one that sales can be like, oh yeah, we'll call them and push it out an hour. That's not how this place works. Like, there's no fudging the appointment time. You're a minute late, you're late. So if we had stopped, if we hadn't done it that way, if we had stopped where the fuel recommendations are and where the cheapest fuel was, we wouldn't have made it. I mean, there's just no room for error. If we had to actually get this trailer washed out, we wouldn't have made it. There were probably 20 trucks in line at Blue Beacon.
Oh God, yeah.
20 trucks in line at Blue Beacon. I mean, it's sunny, it's hot, it's Monday. If we had to actually get a washout, no time. So I finally remembered to bring my leaf blower that we bought. Like,
thanks for the recommendation, Lyle.
yeah.
A million times of Lyle beating me up for sweeping trailers, and we finally got a leaf blower.
And I told Jenna, I was like, we'll never sweep a trailer again. So we pulled, this trailer wasn't too dirty at all, but it's just so damn hot. I was so happy to have a leaf blower, because with a leaf blower it took probably 5 minutes, you know, and if it had taken 15 or 20 minutes, like if we actually had to sweep it, we wouldn't have made it here on time. So there just was, it had to be absolute precision. I think when we switched this morning, we got fuel, diff, and reefer fuel.
Inspection.
Did vehicle inspection. She took the dog out. She went and used the bathroom, did her morning stuff, all within like 12 minutes. All this happened in 12 minutes. It was literally like a pit stop.
It's gotta be like just hilarious on the cameras for like the fuel islands, because we're literally just like running circles around the truck.
While the truck was being fueled, I was unscrewing the lid or the cap on the reefer so that it was already unscrewed and ready. And I'd come back and it was, oh man. And I actually messaged dispatch when we left the receiver for the load we just had, and I was like, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, we're giving it hell, you know. But if there's anything, an accident or anything that stands in the, you know, between that where because we had 200 miles deadhead, if there was anything between where we dropped off and where we have to pick up, we are not gonna make it. And he was like, 10-4, thanks for letting me know, I'll let sales know. But, you know, it's not like it would be a PTC, because, I mean, they asked us to do something, you know. Last night it was like, hey, they're wanting you to try to run this load over and drop it off and try to make it over to this other one. I was like, sure, I'll give it hell. You know, we did, like, and I even told her in my message, I'm like, man, we have not stopped since 8 p.m. last night. It's currently, what time is it? 4 o'clock p.m. This truck has only stopped when absolutely necessary since 8 p.m. last night, and only for like 15 minutes, you know, other than at the receiver where she had to get her 30-minute break because she had to get her time back.
It is literally only stopped as legally required.
Yeah.
Like,
or as required to keep it, like, the engine combusting. So what I was doing is I was only buying like 60 or 75 gallons, you know, just enough to get a credit at TA or Pilot, because I was paying more for fuel. But again, I just didn't have a choice. It was way more important to me to get an epic $3 a mile load that I know is not going to weigh much than it was to save $10 or $15 in fuel. Way more important. Like, you know, it was kind of like, I just didn't, in terms of fuel, sorry, I just didn't give a shit. Like, it was, how much do we need to get to, you know, where we're going? How much do we need to be able to run this where it needs to go without stopping? And we're going to get it wherever we can do two things at once. Because if we had stopped, if we had tried to do different things with, you know, make different stops for different things, we wouldn't be here right now. So sometimes that's just the way it is. And another thing that's embarrassing is all these prime trucks that are here at this place are shiny and beautiful, have their Monday truck wash.
Not us.
Rims are all, man, we are ghetto. This truck is bitch slapped with bugs. It hasn't been washed for a week. But just didn't have,
Our truck looks like a moneymaker.
Yeah, our truck
as
looks
Lyle
like
says.
Our truck looks like it went to work and it was told its shift was going to be 70 hours. That's what our truck looks like. So anyway, ended up finishing this week strong, which is amazing because we were at Pittston for freaking 30 hours. So somehow camping out at Pittston for 30 hours, we both got a 34-hour reset, and still this week is really strong. So that's why I haven't done an update today, because it's just been like pound pavement and sleep. That's been the agenda since really yesterday morning. Yesterday we went to
the days all start to bleed together.
We went to a place up in PA that all of you are familiar with.
Sometimes the load is sweet, sometimes the load is bitter.
I like where the load goes. Well, some of them. One of them goes to Georgia, a place that I do not like. They never have empties. It's one that Prime uses just to get trucks out of PA. I'm not going to say the name of the company, but I am going to say all of their product is very sweet and delicious. But there was an instance yesterday where I really get bothered is by dishonesty. And I'm going to say that usually with this customer, other than the Georgia facility, my only gripe with the Georgia facility is they always have empties, they just will never let Prime drivers take them. Usually all their facilities are really great. Like usually we have really good experiences with all their facilities. And I'm being, would you agree?
They're never unpleasant.
Yeah, never unpleasant. Well, yesterday they lied to us. There's multiple distribution centers in this one town in Pennsylvania, and we've picked up from all of them. Like 3 or 4 of them we've picked up from. And the one that this load picked up at, so we go there, drop off our empty, go inside the shipping office, and they tell Jenna, now this is I don't blame this lady. I think she was really nice to Jenna.
Oh, she was amazing.
It's not her fault. This happened somewhere higher up in the logistics chain.
She said, well, because our lot is so small, we just went ahead and moved that particular load to
a storage facility. A storage facility.
That is roughly 8 miles down the road. It's not a big deal. Well, that 8 miles is like 25 minutes of driving.
25 minutes of driving, and takes us further away from the interstate that we would have been able to hop onto. And when we got there, it turns out it's the main distribution center. It's not a storage facility.
Yeah, and it was loaded over there.
The trailer was loaded there. It wasn't taken over there. And not only was it loaded there, it was sitting there for like 2 days. So the tank was almost empty, which at one of their other facilities, we have picked up an empty reefer before where they're like, oh yeah, it's not running, it's out of fuel. We let Prime know yesterday and they haven't done anything about it. So we had to go to Petro, and I'm sitting back there pumping priming the damn thing for 45 minutes. This one was almost empty. So basically what their logistics had done was book this load at the first facility to get us to take an empty trailer there, because they needed an empty trailer there. And the load we were picking up was actually, it was loaded at the other place. And the thing is, just say that, I mean, how many times have I made a video where it's like, just effing say it. Like, it's not.
Because, the thing is if you were honest about it, we'd still do it.
Yeah, we'd be like, okay, well, I would be annoyed by it. I'd be like, well, this is kind of sucky, but whatever. They need an empty trailer over at that warehouse, fine, not a big deal. I mean, it did end up adding like an hour and a half to our day. And that time and we didn't get detention because we were there early. because the load was, so we burned up a lot of our time through all this. But whatever, it was what it was. It's the whole trying to pretend that, we moved that one over to our storage. It's not storage. It is your distribution center. It's where it was loaded. You didn't move it over there. You just needed us to bring you an empty trailer. It should, someone should just say, hey, they need empty trailers over at this other place. Can you take yours over there and then bobtail over? This is where your load is at. Fine. That, again, I'd be annoyed by it, but I wouldn't be angry. And because of the way it went down, I was angry. Just because.
Very bitter critter.
Yeah, I just
wanted a sandwich.
I just don't like. I don't like when truck drivers are treated like we're not, we're just dumb, we're not gonna figure this stuff out. Anyway, but all is well. The week is ending up strong. I got my clock back, so I'll be able to get this load out of here and rock and roll. But that's if you're planning on coming to Prime, this is the life that's ahead of you. So get ready. Be safe, make good decisions. As always, drive to thrive. Talk to you guys soon.